many. One too many. All right, 8 o'clock on a Friday on a Friday night, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. I was just scolding Delgado because he's drinking Coke.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper over here.
Terrible for you. Not good. Glad you're in. Lots to do. The gang's all here. David Zier back from Milwaukee. We'll talk to him in a second. Slick's here. Delgado's here as well. Slick, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D. Good to be back.
Friday.
Come on, back in the saddle.
Felt like we never left.
I know. You shouldn't.
You guys, leave? You guys stayed for the whole.
Yeah, we got to leave, right?
We got to leave.
We were here. We left on Friday, and now we're back on Friday. Delgado, how are you?
I'm better well rested than you guys. I got home just in time for the president's speech, and as soon as he was done, I crawled into bed.
Nice.
Perfect. Perfect.
Very good.
Perfect evening. Enjoyed the Kid Rock.
How was the rest of your Friday?
It was good. Except for the fact that now
it was Pizza Friday here.
It was Pizza Friday, of course. I got here early with the pizza. Nobody else was here. I had my first. And then, of course, Damon comes charging in.
I didn't come charging in.
With his bag of coffee. And
I brought paper towels.
Immediately scoffs down 2 slices before I finished my one.
Oh, that's not true. You were done with one before I even sat down.
No, not even close.
You had inventory? You brought inventory?
Vicious liar. Yeah. Yes. So, Pizza Friday here on the show. Yeah. It's always very good, by the way. What's your name? David Zier. Back from Milwaukee in the RNC convention. How are you?
Great. Just got back. Was a victim.
Like literally just got back today?
About 2 hours ago.
Wow.
So did you?
What a trooper.
Yeah. So I'm hearing there's all kinds of flight delays. People stuck in Milwaukee because of this whole CrowdStrike, IT, whatever stuff.
Yeah,
did you have any of that?
Oh, my God. 2 hours after Trump gets off the stage, all this stuff is starting, basically. We didn't sleep yesterday. We drove right from the event. Had to drive back to someone's hotel, pick them up, take them to Milwaukee Airport, bring back the rental, get an Uber, take an Uber from Milwaukee to Chicago, get to Chicago at 3:30 in the morning, check in. We're waiting for the flight. It's canceled, of course. Every Delta flight on the ground is canceled. O'Hare Airport shut down like Die Hard 2 at Christmas. It was unbelievable. It's really coincidental. And then we get to LaGuardia eventually by like 1 o'clock. We're supposed to land at 9 a.m. There's people sleeping all over the airport. There had to be 2,000 people in the airport. They couldn't get anywhere. The luggage racks weren't working. The luggage machines in the bag claims. All the monitors are out, because it reset all of the systems. They got blue screens everywhere. So even the ones above the luggage racks, you don't know where your luggage was coming out. So we waited 2 hours for our luggage. Then I get in the car, and then it's a 2.5 hour drive from New York City to here, which is normally an hour trip because everybody's a maniac on Long Island, and there's traffic jams everywhere. I just find it really coincidental. Taking Trump off of the fronts of the newspapers, basically, due to this, software update. I don't buy it for a minute.
Well, Fran, I figured you'd be the best person to speak on this CrowdStrike, Microsoft, me being no fan of Windows, as you know. Can you explain this to me like I am, pretty not that bright?
Okay, so the CrowdStrike is a security software that runs on servers and computers and everything. They did an update they pushed automatically overnight that had a major error in it that saw a major Windows system file that makes Windows run as basically a bad file. So it was crashing systems that tried to boot that did the update automatically. So all of the ones that were affected were anything that was running the Cloudflare software.
So it wasn't malicious, it was just ignorance, kind of like the Secret Service?
It was stupidity and not checking well enough.
So they say, Fran. So they say. I don't buy it.
Wow, you're already out there on that ledge, huh? Usually I'm the first one.
I'm on the ledge.
Over CrowdStrike.
I'm especially CrowdStrike. Listen. This takes the focus off of the incredible events last night. The whole country, all the way to Australia, was affected. People can't still get into their checking accounts. Everything was just like wiped out. There's no record of your transaction. Your Delta app doesn't work. The whole airport wasn't moving for like 2 hours. It was something out of a movie. It was scary.
Real problem here?
It was scary.
The real problem we've discovered? Too many Too many damn things running on Windows. I'll just never understand it.
I agree with that.
Too many damn things running on stupid Windows.
Too much going on.
Sucks.
Yeah.
I have a good Silicon Valley investor who can give great insight into that on some of the fixes. So maybe you can bring her on tomorrow.
Well, and now that you're a big Bitcoin enthusiast, you're probably thinking, this should all be on the blockchain to decentralize it, so you don't have these.
It should be on the blockchain.
Everything should be, and everything will be. By the way, everything will be, including our voting system. Eventually, I don't know how many years it will take, but all of our real estate, all of our, we're going to tokenize everything.
If this happened
as we should be,
Christmas
and Trump's going to speak about it next week.
Yeah.
He's going to Bitcoin 2024 in Nashville, I believe.
And he spoke about it at the Libertarian National Convention and not accepting the central bank digital currency. But if this happened on New Year's Eve or Christmas, this would be very, very, very bad. This would destroy people.
Okay.
Millions.
Well, so since you were the only one there, you're the only one good enough to speak on this. So give me your review of 4 days in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It seems to us from here that it was very successful. The programming of it was extremely good. The production of it was extremely good. I know some conservative right had some problem with some of the speakers and the platform and the taking out the marriage equality and taking out the abortion stuff. And so there's there are a couple things, but overall, it seems to me this is the dawning of a new party with the dawning of a new leader who seemed last night, at least if I'm judging it in the first half hour, 40 minutes before we kind of got back to the rally stuff, a changed man to me. He sounded it a little more low key, almost. He's got every right to be tired and kind of. But what was your overall? What was the reaction on the ground from people after last night? What's your big takeaway?
It was the unconventional convention. This isn't Jerry Ford in 1976. This is not 2016 in Cleveland, where you had multiple factions. You had Ted Cruz versus Donald Trump. People didn't want to relinquish control. This was a unified effort from the minute it started. I thought the production value of it was incredible, but the good feeling that was around, it doesn't matter if you were more moderate or if you were super uber conservative. Everybody was upbeat, energetic. The production was great. The people on the ground that came there, the delegates from all of the states, were MAGA. They were acting MAGA. They were sounding MAGA. They were in full support of Donald Trump because they know, one, they have no choice right now, but two, I think that people are hurting. I think people are scared. I think the incredible events of Saturday has shifted this country to the right. The Democrats don't know what to do with themselves, right? They always have the talking points on Sunday. That, like Rush Limbaugh used to say, they always have the Sunday talking points on all the news shows. They don't know what to do with themselves right now. And I have a prediction that the Democratic National Convention will look more patriotic. Maybe there'll be some American flags for a change, or at least they'll show them on camera. And maybe they'll whip out a couple of diesel fuel Chevys and some cheerleaders and apple pie to show that they actually do love America, because I don't know if they have anywhere to go. I thought the events of the week were just unbelievable. It was very, very cool, and a big, huge success for the Republican Party. But Trump is just the best, a class act. When he hugged that firefighter or kissed the firefighter's uniform and the helmet, you can't, the words, you can't explain it.
That was one of my favorite moments.
And the RAV crews, we had Brian Glenn on the ground out there, and our production crews will never, ever forget that day in Butler, Pennsylvania. And they interviewed mayor. I have an interview tonight from the mayor of Slippery Rock in Butler County. These people are unified, and they're gelled. And that area was already like 6, 8, 10 points ahead for Trump. And that's right over the border from Ohio. The Boilermakers, the car makers, the steel workers, the coal miners, the contractors, they are pumped up for Trump. And J.D. Vance gives Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin to the Republicans this November. Just the prediction.
That's huge.
It was really epic.
That's huge.
How was the how was the takeaway from JD? What was the feeling for JD Vance's speech and just JD overall?
I thought you were going to ask how were the cheese curds, but J.D. Vance was, listen, he was well received. I think people, I think they welcomed it, even if you didn't want him as the VP pick, because he does have that hillbilly elegy, Midwestern upbringing. The mother was addicted to drugs. She's been clean for 10 years. He grew up seeing a lot of tragedy. He grew up in the Rust Belt type thing, which is like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, parts of Maryland, Pennsylvania, upstate New York. I think he embodies the middle class, working class type person. And listen, he's a little bit of an independent voice. Maybe he bridges the gap with some of the independents. I think overall it wins the election for Donald Trump.
All right, very good. David Zier, we'll continue to talk about what happened in Milwaukee this week, the president's speech last night. We'll get into a little more of that. Delgado, me and Slick were here obviously last night, so you didn't get a chance to give your thoughts on the president's speech. What were they?
I thought it was great. I mean, people are like, oh, it went 90 minutes. It's like, yeah, he can do 90 minutes, and it doesn't faze him.
He can work past his bedtime.
Right. He doesn't need people to, kind of point him in the right direction. From what I understand, and this odd thing I heard today, they were counting words. They said his original speech was 3,000 words. He ended up doing 12,000 words or something like that. That means 9,000 words of ad-libbing. It's like, yeah. so he can have conversations. He can relate stories. He can connect with people. Right. Ooh, that's terrible. You can't
Biden has said
that.
12,000 words publicly since he was elected to office.
I know. It's some of the stupidest stuff you ever hear. But I guess that's what they have to pick from, right? They really don't have much, because even on the left, you hear how they're saying this was a great convention. Some people are calling it the best political convention they've ever seen.
Absolutely the best Republican convention, best Democratic convention. And they're panicking. Trump's got 20% of blacks, 40+% of Hispanics. He's got women. He's got union workers. He's got Democrats and independents crossing over. I don't know where this leaves the Dems, and they're going to have to exercise that good guy clause or that good conscience loophole, these delegates in the Democratic Party. Get rid of Biden and hope for the best.
Well, I'm not a supporter of that. I'm not a supporter of that whatsoever. I'm quite upset about this attack on our democracy here.
Yes, I agree.
As the Democrat Party continues and their voters, as they continue to try to attack and get rid of the duly elected candidate.
Yeah, selected by their people, right?
Yes, that's exactly right. We need to stand behind Joe.
Yes, prop him up.
He needs to not give in. Do not give in, Joe. Joey.
Let's go. Weekend on gurneys.
Don't give in, Joe.
Yeah. Fight.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Friday night.
All right, 13 past the hour. Just getting started. News, sports, all coming up.
I heard this pizza.
Me too. Pizza.
On social media, YouTube, Facebook, X, Kick, Rumble. Glad you're in on a Friday night. Tommy Viper, I see him in there.
What's up, Tommy? I'm trying to open YouTube. What did I do? Did I break
Ricky
it?
on Facebook says Pizza Fridays.
So what did you guys do? You had socials up last night and commenting on the convention?
Every night, yeah.
Every night, right?
They're on every
Monday
night.
through Thursday.
Mm-hmm. We don't take a stinking night off.
What time did you wrap up socials last night?
After the president was done. 10 minutes after he was done.
AI Fuller
12, 15,
or Al
12,
Fuller.
20.
Delgado's a quitter.
You hung in the whole night.
Delgado's a quitter, exactly.
Well, Delgado works for a living.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the difference. We got all
I had to be up at 4. 4?
4.
Or
That's right. Aaron had to be up at 4.
Now,
there you go. That's what happens. Well, you're less than half Delgado's age.
Yeah, you're like a third of his
more than
age.
half of his age.
Yeah.
We drove up to the
Like a
venue
10.
every day.
When you get to 60, it's going to be a little different.
Yeah. Take that.
Still in your early 20s or whatever.
We had to drive at 4:30 every day to the venue, an hour, and we were getting back at like 1, 2 o'clock.
Damon, what happened to running down Mark Halperin last night? Turned around, he was right. He's not. How is he right? He hasn't left.
Yeah, Joe's still in it.
And Mark Halperin came out and said that the quote about, I'm sorry, not Mark Halperin, the guy who's supposedly writing his speech came out and said that's absolutely not true. So what are you talking about? As it stands right now, Mark Halperin is wrong about everything he said. As of now, that could obviously change, and he could be 100% right. But I don't trust anything that comes from him. And the push today from the campaign in the White House was pretty strong. This is all nonsense.
Yeah, I guess he hasn't gotten the number he wants yet.
He's negotiating. I heard some of that.
Howdy do, Rumblers. Rumblers on a Friday night. We don't take a stinking night off, David.
Hello, Beth on Facebook. Zier is here, Gary says on Facebook.
Hey, Gary.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Glad you're in. If you're on social media with us, welcome on in as well at LFS6B on Facebook, YouTube, Kick, Rumble, X, all at LFS6B. Or YouTube, you can just search for Live from Studio 6B. Make sure you join the channel, subscribe, like, comment, share. Get involved in the social media. We always appreciate that as it continues to build up the numbers. Slick's going to do some sports. Delgado's got news. David Zier's got some news and some clips as well. Talk about what happened the last couple days out there in Wisconsin at the RNC. Pretty successful by all accounts.
Oh, yeah.
Trump's hand on, as you can tell, pretty much on everything. RNC, David. Lara Trump in charge. People questioning what's going on with the RNC. We've talked about it on the show. Obviously, she worked, I'm sure, extremely close with the former president to put this week together. Some questions still about what they're doing with all this money they've raised. They've had a couple nice ads that have come out. I don't know where they're running them nationally or how much money they're putting behind them. Was there a feeling on the new leadership at the RNC? Are they on the ball? Are they not on the ball? If you had any, what was the feedback on them?
I'll bring you some interviews I did with Michael Whatley, the new RNC chair, this week. Also, I interviewed Tom Emmer, who's the House Majority Whip, on the feeling out there. Listen, Lara Trump is she's the darling of the Republicans. And everybody loves her. Everybody loves the Trump kids, the Trump family, the in-laws. It was really, I didn't experience hardly any negativity. We were there for the whole thing. And even the media, even Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks, who said a BB gun probably hit Trump last Saturday, was kind of moderated a little. He had Ben Bergquam on his show. He sat down with Charlie Kirk. I just think that the RNC did a spectacular job. I left the Republican Party in 2016. The New York State Republican Senate delegation voted for the SAFE Act, said I can only keep 7 bullets in my mag. They voted for the minimum wage hikes, which punished 30, 40, 50,000 small businesses, continued to punish them on Long Island. They voted with the Andrew Cuomo budget. They didn't even question it. $200 billion budget, which is double what Florida's was, and they got 3 million more people. I am almost motivated to go back and re-register as a Republican, which I might do this week.
Okay, very good.
Good to hear. Join the club. Come on.
All right, let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and My Pillow. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, Major League Baseball back in action tonight, Big D, after a American League victory on Tuesday night, 5-3 over the National League. The boys are back on the field for the final push, and then that's it. Got a couple more months, and before you know it, it'll be playoff time. Right now, we got the Phillies in Pittsburgh leading the Pirates 7-4. That's top of the fifth. Reds are in D.C. getting smoked by the Nationals 7-1, top of the sixth. The Reds are on their winning ways. Yankees 4-0 over the Rays in the Bronx, bottom of the fourth. Good friend of mine's at the game tonight. Tigers 3-0 over the Blue Jays, bottom of the fifth. Top fifth also, Marlins 4-1 over the Mets. We have Padres and Guardians, no score, top of the fifth. Cardinals and Braves in a rain delay with no score there. Orioles over the Rangers 4-0 mid-first. Bottom one, no score, White Sox at the Royals in Kansas City. Diamondbacks earlier today defeated the Cubs at Wrigley 5-2. We got some games coming up tonight. 8:40 Giants out in Colorado taking on the Rockies. Angels visiting the A's in Oakland 9:40, soon to be in Vegas. Red Sox at the Dodgers 10-10. And last but not least, Astros and Mariners 10-10 first pitch. Big D, British Open update. Not good news for our man Tiger. Tiger Woods ends his season by missing the cut in the British Open. This is an AP report. Trun, Scotland, AP. Tiger Woods tied a personal record in the British Open on Friday. One he could have done without, perhaps should come to expect. Woods matched his highest 36-hole score as a professional. He 156 to miss the cut for the third straight time in a major. He tapped in for a routine par on the 18th hole at Royal Troon and signed for a 6 over 77. A round that got away from him early with a double bogey and never improved during the day. It wasn't very good, Woods said. I made a double right out of the hopper when I needed to go the other way. Just was fighting it pretty much all day. I never really hit close enough to make birdies and consequently made a lot of bogeys. That brought a short season to an abrupt end. Woods said he won't play again until December, possibly his unofficial Hero Challenge with a 20-man field in the Bahamas. He specifically referenced that he jokingly calls his fifth major the PNC Championship, a 36-hole exhibition where he plays alongside his 15-year-old son, Charlie. So, Tiger Woods had a rough day, Big D. So, obviously, he's out of the British Open. Shane Lowry is shot a 2-day 7 under. He leads the course right now. So
former champ.
Yeah, looking good.
Only 10 guys under par there, and it just shows that, Scotty Scheffler's doing okay. He played no links golf leading up to it, but Royal Troon is just spanking the American golfers who have not played any links golf. It's just the conditions are too tough. Only 10 guys under par. 10.
It's a tough place to play, boy. Oof,
and Scotty's -2, but Shane Lowry is a former British Open champion, so he knows his way around, and he obviously knows how to play links golf. And you see a couple other guys at the top. Justin Rose certainly knows. But good to see Scotty Scheffler there, tied for fourth at -2. We'll see what he can do, but he's 5 back. It's a tough position to be in already going into the weekend. So
you got 2 more days. We'll have a full recap, obviously, on Monday night for you. And I got time for one more story, but if you got to get to something else, Big D. Okay. Well, let's get it on a high note before I get to all the nonsense later with the comments of last night's RNC close with President Trump. UFC's Dana White rouses RNC crowd speech before Trump's speech. The higher the stakes, the harder he fights. Dylan Gwynn. Of course, we all saw this last night, but it's good to read it just the same. UFC President Dana White introduced former President Donald Trump on Thursday night at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, focusing on the high stakes in the 2024 presidential election. White, a longtime friend of Trump, 25 years, right? He who has known more than his fair share of tough men, introduced the former president as the toughest, most resilient human being he has ever known. I know he wants what's best for the American people, all American people, White said. I know he's running for president to save our American dream. I'm living the American dream, and I know the American dream is very real. Whether you were born in this country or came here from someplace else, this is the last real land of opportunity. I know President Trump is fighting to save the American dream, and that's what's at stake at this election. White contrasted the period of peace and economic strength of the first Trump presidency with the current state of war and impoverished economy under Biden. I know I'm going to choose strength and security. I know I'm going to choose opportunity and prosperity. I know I'm going to choose real American leadership and a real American badass. And, I asked Big D, what is the over-under on an F-bomb from Dana White? He was on his best behavior. I thought he was fabulous the way he rousted the crowd. And, of course, the Hulk. Man, you talk about pre-gaming with the Hulk. Don't get any better than that, Big D. And that's a wrap in sports. Back to you. Mean Gene.
I wonder what the Democrats do to try to offset the Hulk Hogan thing. What do they?
Can't possibly do that.
I don't know.
You cannot.
Wonder
Who
who
do
they
you
go.
get?
Nobody.
You get Randy Macho Man? No.
Wonder who
he's
they
too
go
smart
after.
for that.
You got, he's also dead.
Yeah. Maybe you get Mike Tyson. No, Mike Tyson. He's not gonna do
No,
that.
he's a Trump guy.
Who do you
likes
get?
Trump. No, he likes Trump. I know.
Like, who do you get to roust the crowd?
I don't know.
George Clooney doesn't do it.
By the way, I don't agree. I mean, David makes a valid point, but I don't agree with it. I think you're going to see more Palestinian flags than you're going to see American flags. No, I'm not kidding.
They may not even bring the American flag.
I'm not kidding.
They didn't last time.
Right?
I'm not
That's
kidding.
right.
I would.
Right.
Would you be surprised? I
wouldn't be surprised.
I
I think
wouldn't be
they'd be-
surprised for 1 second.
Yeah, rainbow flags too, big deal.
I legitimately-
Come on.
I think
that's
they
what
go
you'll see.
back to Grandpa's Democratic Party.
Oh, yeah. Walter Mondale and friends.
All right, lots of news coming up. Delgado and Zier when we get back right after this.
My favorite song. Well, Zeldin is terrible.
Who said he's terrible?
He did.
Zeldin's not terrible.
He just did.
I try to get him on the show for 5 years.
Yeah, but that's a comms team thing. That's not Lee.
Any word on Melania? Why she didn't want to speak?
I didn't hear anything, no. I thought she was gonna when she was walking up. I thought
did
she was
too.
gonna, but I was surprised by that.
I did too. I thought the same thing, David.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to speak. You look great, though. My gosh. Beautiful. Fantastic.
Yeah, she's a class act.
She's stunning.
But I wanted to give a shout out. A lot of Rav fans at 6B at RNC.
Really?
A lot of
Really?
6B fans. Yeah.
Really?
People
Yeah.
watch your show?
But it wasn't open to the public.
That's what I was saying. So where were they?
Well, there was thousands of delegates, and the place was abuzz. But on Media Broadcast Row, the public wasn't there, but like all the volunteers, there was like probably 1,000 volunteers there. I would say about a quarter to a third of them came up to me. We love Real America's Voice. We turn it on in the morning. We don't turn it off at night. Say hello to the 6B guys. It was constant. It was constant,
nice.
which was cool because it was kind of like the MAGA rally crowd, but there was still like the other element, like a lot of the New York delegation is, they're not like super openly, MAGA. It's more like municipal union stuff and lobbying. It's a little different, but it was a very patriotic venue. And a lot of people love Rav, that's for sure.
I don't remember the name of the song or which opera. That was I don't. It was Nessa Dorma, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't.
I saw you the Saturday night, David, on
that's-
Rav. The coverage was phenomenal.
Trump
I saw
plays that
you
when he plays golf. He plays that in his golf cart.
on TV Saturday night after Trump was shot. I thought you were great. That was a great
The impromptu
coverage
stuff.
with John Solomon.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Very good.
Yeah, we tried to get live from the warehouse, but we had a problem with one of the computers.
The coverage was.
I
thought
did
best coverage
pre-record.
best coverage out of it. Better than Fox.
Yeah, I didn't do much that night. I did a few hits, about 3 or 4.
Yeah, Delgado. What was up with your picture with the Hulk and then his daughter?
His daughter, Brooke.
Brooke. Yeah, Brooke.
That was back when I was in my cool life, working at the radio station. Yeah.
What?
No. They
What?
came
This is
to.
not a cool life here?
This was in San Francisco.
Oh.
She had just put out a song.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Real America's Voice. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's here. He'll do some news here in a second. Along with David Zier, we'll do some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down. You out there, glad you're in. If you're on social media, make sure you follow us at LFS6B, whatever platform you're on. Make sure you subscribe and like. Lots to talk about. And again, I'm very upset that the Democrat Party continues to push this coup against their just an assault on democracy here. And I just won't stand for it. So I speak directly to their should-be candidate to stay in the race, Joe. Don't give in to these people.
Yeah.
Fight on.
Yes.
Be the nominee. We need you to be the nominee. There's too many issues with you dropping out with all kinds of scenarios. You don't want that. You don't want an open convention. Stick it out. Do the right thing for your voters who voted for you. They'd be very odd. You can't put them off like that.
Yeah, especially the way he ran away with the primary.
That's exactly right.
I mean,
you fought hard for that.
Pummeled hit RFK Jr. so hard he was knocked out of the party.
Yeah, I mean they didn't try to rig it for you. I mean you fought hard for that nomination. You've got to keep it. Don't give in, Joe.
And you're so smart.
And I want to address some of the articles that in the media. It's just disgraceful the way they're coming after you. Politico today with a couple. I mean, so I'll address all of that. But fight on, Joe. That's my message to you if you're watching tonight again. So
yeah, just give it a good hawk tour. You'll be fine.
Oh my God!
All right, let's do some news. And here with that is Rick Delgado. News is brought to you by 7Cells.
What did I say?
7Cells.com. Well, I don't know why people in the chat are laughing at me and saying, nice try, Damon. No, I'm as serious as a heart attack. Let's go, Joe.
No, don't say heart attack when it comes to...
Yeah.
Come on. Let's keep it healthy, Damon.
Keep it healthy is right.
Yeah. All right, I'm as serious as only stage 5 dementia. Let's go, Joe.
Okay.
Stay in. Okay.
Good Lord.
All right, Delgado, what's going on with the news?
I'm finding out there's a stage 5? Okay, I'll go
He's
with
in
it.
stage 7, I think. But
I didn't even know there were that many
stage
stages.
7 is the perfect stage to campaign. So
Yeah.
just stick it out.
Right. All right, jumping over to some news. Since you're talking about Joe and trying to keep him in the race there, Damon, he actually did have this to say the other day on BET when he revealed that there would be some reason for him to step down. This is cut number 15. Here's Joe Biden revealing what might force him out of this race, and we're crossing our fingers it doesn't happen. Cut 15.
Please. God.
Is there anything that you would look to, you personally, not anybody else, not other pundits, not even perhaps family members, that you would look to say, if I see that, I will reevaluate?
If I had some medical condition that emerged, if the doctors came to me and said, you got this problem, that problem. But I made a serious mistake in the whole debate. And look, when I originally ran, you may remember it, I said I was going to be a transitional candidate. And I thought that I'd be able to move from this, just pass it on to someone else. But I didn't anticipate things getting so divided. And quite frankly, I think the only thing age brings a little bit of wisdom. And I think I've demonstrated that I know how to get things done for the country.
Absolutely.
In spite of the fact they're told we couldn't get it done. But there's more to do, and I'm reluctant to walk away from that.
Much more.
Very good statement from the president there. Just Joe Biden talking to a
golf clap.
BET regarding the more work to do. Meanwhile, over on MSNBC, this is Katie Tur. She's reading a statement that Joe Biden released just today regarding his intentions to stay in this race. This is cut number 25. Katie Tur from MSNBC. Check this out.
I have some breaking news, Brian, that I want to get to regarding President Biden, and this is a statement that's just out, coming over the Reuters wires for us. Biden says he looks forward to getting back on the campaign trail next week, and he says Donald Trump's dark vision is not who we are as Americans. It's not much of a statement, but it is notable because, again, there are increasing calls for him to drop out of the race, including a number of lawmakers today, 5 congressmen, lawmakers, and 1 senator at least.
Yeah.
That looked like one of their virtual backgrounds, didn't it?
It did. But I think she was probably in front of one of the airports because the airport was the big story today. Nobody's flying out. And, of course, then we have this. I don't know if this is real. I've heard this may have happened already, that they may have had a discussion. Former President Barack Obama sitting down with Joe Biden and giving him the talk. This is cut number 24 regarding some advice moving forward in this campaign.
Why
Check
doesn't he
this
just
out.
mind his own damn business?
It's a tough
You
talk.
know what it's like as much as anybody to be in the White House during a crisis. You know what it's like and how lonely it can be to make tough decisions where not every decision is going to be perfect, but you got to make them. We're in a moment right now
Best friends.
in which if you're going to quit,
So there you have it. The great Maze Moore
All right.
somehow got a hold of that,
He took
that video feed, and it's amazing.
Undercover video.
He needs to just stay out of it and mind his own damn business.
Yeah.
Is what he needs to do.
Yeah.
That's
Joe's
not-
just fine.
That's not going to happen.
Either
got
spear
this-
nor there.
He's got the
Yeah.
sniffles,
Yeah.
but he's doing better. He's on round 5 of Paxlovid, 13 shots, 19 boosters. He's going to be fine.
They were
And he's
throwing
ready
around.
to go. He's going to come out of this stronger, and he's ready to go. And someone in the chat said, Damon's going to introduce Biden at the DNC. I would happily do that. I will be there, Dana White.
They are
I
not.
will be
Damon
there,
White.
Dana White.
Wow, look at you.
They're not
You really
running.
don't want to lose this bet.
They're not running that guy.
Some
They're
more,
not
I don't want to lose that candidate, not this
Wow.
bet.
They're not running
some
that guy.
more news coming out of the attempted Trump assassination last week. As just before the show broke, we heard the story come out. According to this, and this is coming from the Wall Street Journal, says here the gunman who tried to kill Donald Trump was able to fly a drone and get aerial footage of the Western Pennsylvania fairground shortly before the former president was set to speak there. Law enforcement officials briefed on the matter said, further underscoring the stunning security lapses ahead of Trump's near assassination. The assassin, the murderer, Thomas Matthew Crooks, flew the drone on a programmed flight path earlier in the day on July 13th to scour the Butler Farm Show fairgrounds ahead of Trump's ill-fated rally, the officials said. The predetermined path, the officials added, suggested Crooks flew the drone more than once as he researched and scoped out the event site. The 20-year-old would-be assassin fired at least 6 rounds from the roof of the AGR research building, roughly 400 feet away from where Trump spoke, killing 1 spectator, critically injuring 2 others, and leaving Trump with a grazed wound on his ear. A Secret Service sniper team shot back, killing Crooks, whose motive remains a mystery. It's really not a mystery. I think he wanted to kill the president. Multiple investigations are underway into how the gunman was able to climb on the roof with a clear line of sight to Trump and open fire with his rifle. Police had become suspicious of Crooks more than an hour earlier when officers saw him milling about the edges with a rangefinder and a backpack. So that's the latest coming out of this. And again, another stunning failure for the people who are tasked with the most important job of keeping the leader of the free world alive and anybody under their protection alive.
Yeah, the would-be assassin who's now dead should not have been doing more groundwork leading up to it than they were doing, and it sounds like that's exactly. At least he was being more technical than they were being.
Yeah, and it's amazing. He got a drone and set it up and scoped out the ground. Secret Service, which has, I would say, a much bigger budget for things like this, couldn't get a drone, didn't have an aerial view of anything that was going on. But meanwhile, this kid probably spent about $150, $200 to get a drone and set it out there and almost changed the course of American history.
I mean, with all due respect, you don't need a drone. You just need somebody who has a brains and an IQ higher than 6 to go stand in the field and go, yeah, that would be a problem right there. I mean, who needs a drone?
But that Butler Township police
2 eyes will
officer
do.
Probably saved Trump's life, when he popped his head up and Crooks turned and turned his AR on the cop. The cop couldn't reach for his gun. He had no choice but to let go. He fell 8 feet to the ground, but he probably went right back into a prone position and popped off rounds and couldn't focus, because if he's lying prone and aiming that thing, there's no way he misses Donald Trump, center mass, or other. So that police officer probably did save Trump's life in a way.
Yeah, in a way, definitely. And of course, just touching base a little bit on the wrapping up of the I almost said DNC.
RNC.
No, the RNC. The convention. Here is Chris Christie, never missing a chance to bash Donald Trump, looking for anybody to talk to. Well, he found his willing ass kissers on The View as they invited him on.
Oh, really?
And to have this little chat.
They had Krispy Kremes in the green room. So.
Breakfast, right?
Here's Chris Christie bashing Donald Trump just this morning.
Yeah. He's 78 years old. And at that age, it is, at least in my human experience, infrequent
You're not
to find a 78-year-old who changes the core of who they are. And if you needed any further evidence of that, you saw it last night.
Aaron.
The people who tried to meet the moment were his staff who wrote that speech. Because when you read just the text of it, it came close to meeting the moment. But more than a third of what he said last night was ad-libbed. And all of the ad-lib was back to what he normally does, which is, this is the grievance against me. This is how horribly I've been treated. Woe is me. But thank God I haven't given up, so that I'm still here for all of you. I mean, it's just who he is, and he's not going to change.
Please, sir, do not call him a fat pig. We cannot call. Says, what about Christie? He's a fat pig. You can't
call him a fat pig.
Look. Please do not call Chris Christie a fat pig. Okay? It's not appropriate. Because you're not allowed to use the word fat. Use the word pig, but you can't use the word.
So there you have it. A little Trump revenge.
Chris Christie on The View. Just perfect.
We were sitting around last night waiting for Trump to end and getting in place with the RAV crew. And we were playing a game, Write the Headlines Tomorrow. And we were like, Trump fact checks for Donald Trump tonight, instead of focusing on the gravity of what was going on. And, of course, I texted people that we were broadcasting with this morning, the MSNBC article that fact-checked Trump's speech, saying it was like another 26 lies or whatever the hell they said.
I heard that going home. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the people who say it went on too long, well, I mean, he was going to speak last Saturday, but he had the time taken away from him because, he got shot in the face. So, I mean, if he wanted to talk a little longer last night, I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I thought the first 40 minutes was, I was, like I said last night, that was history like we've never seen before. We've never seen something like that. At a convention speech, the first 40 minutes when he went through that was just unbelievable. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you don't like the rally stuff after that, fine, whatever. It's just basically what we've heard. A little lower energy than usual. But I didn't have a problem with how long it was, other than I wanted to go to bed, but I just... All right, 13 to 17 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. David Zier with news, Slick with sports when we get back right after this. Oh. You think he's going to make any changes to rallies? He's going to move indoors where they can Magnetometer, everybody, and
probably for now. There's some security concerns about the venue for tomorrow.
Well, from what I heard today, too, that wasn't even supposed to be the location of the event. It was supposed to be at the airport.
Yep.
Which has better security and better things in place.
It affects things because his biggest rallies were outdoors. Mm-hmm. We've covered rallies that he had 60,000 people at, like Conroe, Texas, probably 40,000 in Pickens. There were 30,000 in Butler. I covered Waco, which had about 20,000 plus. There were some huge ones. It definitely affects the dynamic of it. But we had indoor ones where, like Cincinnati, we could talk about this on the air if you want for a minute, but like Cincinnati, the Schnew Arena in Manchester each held like 20,000 people. They broke the records for capacity, even bigger than like Elton John concerts and other things. So he can do big ones indoors. But, will they give him the venue? That's like in Tulsa. They didn't want him coming to Tulsa. They blocked out the top 12,000 seats, the fire marshal, because they're Democrats, and they made it look like the place was empty, but they wouldn't let anyone in.
How was the Fiserv Forum?
It was beautiful, but I didn't spend a lot of time in there. I was broadcasting on Broadcast Row the whole time. So
yeah, you guys weren't set up in the forum, right?
Not in the forum, but the Turning Point studio that Rav ran was at the forum at the restaurant outside. It was like right outside the front doors.
In the building?
No.
You guys were in another building down the street or something?
We had access, but we were just so busy in Broadcast Row that there wasn't time to disappear.
I asked Terry why not. He said you had to be pool or something to be in the actual Pfizer forum.
I don't know. I had passes, given to me and offered to me, but
to have the
Rav,
in there, though, yeah.
Rav itself didn't, unless you were media logistics, I think, set up.
I think what it was Harry was in the pool having martinis, and that's what it was.
I think Harry had a pass to go in.
Yes, he had a pass.
Maybe someone gave them to him.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Glad you're in. Slick's going to do some more sports. Delgado's doing news. Right now, let's do some news and a recap of, we've been doing the recap of the RNC. Was out there all week. The host of Breaking Point, 8 a.m. right here on Real America's Voice. And that, of course, is one Mr. David Zier. Mr. Zier, what's going on?
A lot going on. We were talking about a lot of things during the break here. I wanted to add that, we sat down with people of all walks of life out there. I have Lorenzo Sewell interview for you guys this week from Life 360 Church or Life 180 Church in Detroit, where Trump spoke. And the media said, there were no black people there. Well, he whipped out a picture that his wife took, the pastor, who'd make a great GOP leader in Detroit, by the way, if the RNC is listening. That there was about 60-70% black people in the audience. So the media once again lies here. But I did some interviews here. I have one from the Slippery Rock mayor, which is located in Butler County. And man, are they fired up? The Boilermaker, the coal miners, the steel workers, the auto guys. That Western Pennsylvania, which is similar to the demographic in Eastern Ohio. And Trump bought big manufacturing jobs for Ohio, Whirlpool back, GE Jeep, the Lima plant where they're making the tanks. So this is the Butler mayor. He spoke, opened up the rally last Saturday in Butler, cut number 28. This guy is, he was really shaken by the events that day. We have with us Mayor John David Longo, the mayor of Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania, located in Butler County here at the RNC 2024. How are you today?
I'm doing well, sir. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Tough week for Butler County in Pennsylvania. Now, you were only feet away from Donald Trump when all this happened. Tell us about your experience.
Yes. So the day started like any other Trump rally day would. It was a feeling of joy. It was excitement, especially for those of us in Butler County. We were all reminiscing on the great energy surrounding President Trump's Halloween 2020 visit to us, 60,000 patriots, right? So all of us were expecting that, to be a redo.
You had a massive turnout there. What'd you have, like 30,000 people?
Yeah,
right?
I've heard 25 to 30,000 people. And I got to tell you, it was incredible because, I mean, the weather, it was just so hot, and people still came out in support of President Trump.
Yeah, they always do.
They certainly did. And so that joy, of course, was stolen from us whenever this maniac, this sick individual did what he did.
Tell us about what happened when the shots rang out. What was the audience reaction around you? Just incredible.
Honestly, it was pure disbelief, at first. And keep in mind that I'm seated in the front row with Dave McCormick and Sean Parnell, Congressman Muser and Kelly. Yeah. We're very close to the stage. We had just spoken with the president, so we were 15 feet away.
And you spoke at the rally. You opened up the rally, right?
I did. Yeah, I had the honor of being asked to give some comments and lead the Pledge of Allegiance. It was a great honor. As a veteran, I really appreciate that.
Thank you for serving.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, 15 feet from the president in front of us, 15 feet behind us were the bleachers where local fire chief hero, Corey Comparatori, was sitting, who died. A hero.
Yeah, he's in the neighboring town to you, right?
Yeah, very, very close. And I can't say that I had the honor of knowing Corey personally, but a lot of folks in our area do. And again, I understand that he lived just as he died, and that was as a hero, as somebody who was selfless.
Yeah, how has the reaction been in your town? What's the mood like?
Yeah, very somber. Very somber. I think it's disbelief. It's shock that something like this could happen in our backyard. I know for those of us in the conservative movement, we just are full of regret that President Trump would be met with that in Butler County and at our home.
And it's added a new element to the campaign, a new depth to the campaign, right? Maybe the stars have aligned a little bit for Trump. But this stuff's out of the way.
Yes, sir.
Maybe the weaponization against him's out of the way in the court system. He has a chance to focus on the race now.
I sure hope so, and it looks like it. I mean, look, you see the man here at the RNC. He just he's taken the stage a couple of times already, and he's announced his vice presidential pick in fellow Marine Senator J.D. Vance, who I'm very happy about. But my point is that he's here and he's still doing the work, and we knew that when we saw him stand up from the Secret Service huddle and raise his fist triumphantly in defiance of what had just happened. That was a message to us. It was that I'm going to continue to be strong for you, and we're going to see this through to completion.
Unbelievable. Pennsylvania in play. You got like 100,000 more Republican voters in 2020. I think it's going to go red.
Absolutely, and I know it's going to go red, and I'll tell you why. Because we have tons of volunteers on the ground in places like Butler County, and I told the president this. We are going to help deliver Pennsylvania to him. We're going to get those electoral votes to him. We're going to put him and J.D. Vance in the White House. We're going to make America great again. Yeah.
And Slippery Rock and Butler County.
Absolutely.
That's that Boilermaker, coal worker, steel worker guy, similar to the demographic in Eastern Pennsylvania, in Eastern Ohio, pro-Trump country.
Absolutely. It's God's country, to be quite frank.
Working class?
Certainly is.
All right. Thank you, John David Longo, the mayor of Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania, located in Butler County. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you very much.
Damon, I just wanted to add one thing, and I'll throw it back to you guys. There were about 50,000 people that converged on the convention. It was a lot of people. And, the element is a little different from a Trump rally. There's more people of modest means at the Trump rallies. You don't have to have any money to go to a Trump rally. To fly to a convention, to be a delegate, you probably own a business or you're influential. A lot of the volunteers were regular working class people there. But everybody came up to us. They love Real America's Voice. Real America's Voice was the gem of broadcast and media row, even outdoing Fox, because the people love us. So the delegates that came around, the other media members, the politicians sought out that RAV booth, and people came up to us. They love Studio 6B, and they all said hello when I was walking out through the crowds getting my fried cheese curds and stuff. They just love RAV and they love 6B, and I just wanted to convey that to you guys. So
nice to hear.
That's nice to hear, David. Very good. David Zier, host of Breaking Point. He'll have some more interviews, more clips here coming up in hour two. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. LFS6B is the promo code we hope you use at checkout. It's a great savings on all the great stuff from Lindell. Slick, what's going on?
All right, Friday night, we're going to go to the rodeo, Big D. Let's get on it on. Utah Days of 47 Rodeo underway through the 24th of this month. And we have at Salt Lake City, Utah, Days of 47 Arena. Here we go. Bareback riding, no qualified rides for bareback, Rick. Steer wrestling, second round. Jacob Edler, 3.6 seconds. Team roping, we have a tie. Jackson Tucker and Jason Lowe, along with Tyler Wade and Wesley Thorpe, 3.8 seconds each. Saddle bronc, no qualified rides either. Rodeo on a budget. Tie down, second round. Marty Yates, 7.9 seconds. The great Marty Yates. Barrel racing, Cassie Mowry, 16.71 tenths. Good time there. Bull riding, no qualified rides either. Hopefully they get some qualifications there before the end of this rodeo. But the total payout on this rodeo, $554,788 buckaroos, Big D. Let's get to a couple of quick stories. If I got time for a story, I think I do. Oh, here we go. This guy. Leftist Mavericks owner Mark Cuban blasts Elon Musk as selfish for supporting Trump. Warner Todd Houston and Breitbart. On Wednesday, radical left-wing Dallas Mavericks owner Cuban went all in for Joe Biden and jumped up to attack ex-owner Elon Musk for his strong support of Donald Trump. Cuban said he supports Biden's bid for a second term, but will blindly support whoever the party nominates if it replaces him. Oh, he's waffling too, huh? The NBA owner's attack came after PayPal founder David Sachs wrote on X post listing the business leaders who have come on board the Trump train, such as Bill Ackman, Ben Horowitz, Mark Anderson, Doug Leone, Joe Lonsdale, Peter Thiel, Cameron Tyler Winklevoss, and Elon Musk, and adding the message, "Come on in, the water's warm." So Musk echoed Sachs' post and added, the choice is clear. But Cuban, a big supporter of Democrats, DEI, leftism, and Joe Biden, was triggered by Musk's post and replied sharply that it was the virtue of selfishness to support Trump. So, we love Mark Cuban, right? Yeah, like a hole in the head. He's a bum. But, I lost a lot of respect for that guy over the years.
All right, more sports with Slick, more news coming up, and I'll address this terrible thing that's going on at the top of the Democrat ticket. These political articles today.
And we're back in the chat. I should jump over there and see what's going on. Let's see. Check in with the Twixers. Randall Benson is on there. Sharon Lovegrove. Tree Finder. Farmer Brook, as always. You can find him in the Twix chat. Who else we got? Oh, I'm having problems with this. Why wasn't it going? Come on, man. Come on, man. Oh, I see the conspiracy theories are there. Yeah, 3-letter agencies. I know. Randall Benson on the Twix chat, David, wants to know, did you have a chance to speak to Dr. Peter Navarro?
Yeah, I said hello, but I didn't interview him. But he took over. So it was our set in the War Room broadcast from where we were every day, Randall Benson. And he took over the War Room set for the 2 hours. Was it yesterday? Maybe it was yesterday. I'm losing track of time. Sorry, Randall. Yeah, it was incredible. Everyone wanted to be part of that War Room set. So he was on the set with us, very friendly, but definitely a different man, like really, really fired up.
Right.
Supercharged. That's how we imagine Bannon when he gets out.
Oh, right, my Rick? Goodness. Imagine when he gets out.
He's reading for 4 months straight. He's not going to take any prisoners, Yeah. Well, the whole War Room crew and Maureen Bannon was there every day, so they talked about, Steve and where he's at. And he's in a special wing at Danbury with veterans, and which is, better for him and a better element probably. And, they say he's in good spirits, so that was positive.
That's good. Over on YouTube, in the chat there, Dan Barrett wants to know if we talked about how last Saturday the security team was mostly not Secret Service, but from DHS. Yeah, we mentioned that the other day, Dan. Simply because they didn't have the necessary assets. They didn't give former President Trump a full detail. And from what I understand now, he's got a full detail, including they upped his counter sniper team, and they've upped a bunch of different things. And this is after they knew that there was a threat from Iran. They still didn't do it. They had to wait till this to happen. So.
Live from Studio 6B, 9 o'clock, hour 2 on the East Coast. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Slick Rich Sports. Delgado's going to do the news. Doesn't hurt himself.
Yep. Will wake me up.
David Zier's going to do some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Politico today. Left-wing propaganda for the Democrat Party, who you would normally think has Biden's back. A couple articles today that are very disturbing. Very disturbing. Biden's inner circle shifts moment to moment as defections grow. Joe Biden's campaign chair insisted on Friday, that'd be today, that the president is remaining in the race, even as the cascade of Democratic defections continue. And these people should just be ashamed of themselves. This is the most qualified candidate that we've been told. This is a guy who is the most progressive candidate they've ever had, according to Bernie Sanders. This is one of the most accomplished 3.5 years we've ever seen, according to all of them, up until about the debate.
Morning Joe basically told everybody to go F themselves if they didn't think that this was the best
version of Biden we've ever seen. This we're talking weeks ago they told us this.
Yes.
And now this is how they thank him?
What happened?
In an appearance on MSNBC's Morning Joe, Jen O'Malley Dillon, who? I have no idea, acknowledged that Biden's candidacy had suffered from, quote, some slippage, she could have just left it there, of support since the debate, as concerns spiked among both Democrat officials and voters over his age and mental acuity. But she argued that Biden has proven since then, absolutely, that he's capable of running an aggressive race, urging Democrats to unify behind him and shift their focus back onto attacking former President Donald Trump. Quote, the president is in this race. You've heard him say that time and time again. We believe on this campaign we are built for the close election and we're in it. And we see a path forward. Amen. But by the afternoon, 9 new House Democrats. You see this?
Oh, I heard it.
And another Senate Democrat had already called for Biden to drop out, including key figures in the party's left flank. 35 Democrats in Congress.
Wow.
Publicly calling for Biden to drop out. Representative Blumenauer. You familiar with him? Of course not.
No.
Sherrod Brown from Ohio. Well, we're familiar with him. Case from Hawaii. No idea. Caston, Illinois. Castor from Florida, no idea. Costa from California. Craig from Minnesota. Doggett from Texas. Garcia from Illinois, no clue. This guy, whoever he is.
That guy over there.
Heinrich from New Mexico. Himes, a disgrace from Connecticut. My home state. Ugh, God.
Ugh.
Hoffman from California. Landsman from Ohio. Levin from California. Lofgren, this nut job from California.
Yeah.
McCollum from Minnesota. McGarvey from Kentucky. Moulton, who I think some people are familiar with, who recently said that he said when I was face to face with Biden, I don't think he knew who I was.
I saw that quote.
Peters from California. Peterson from Colorado. Pocan from Wisconsin. Quigley from Illinois. Stop me if you know any of these people.
Yeah.
Ryan from New York. No idea who that is. Schiff, Pencilneck from California.
I heard of him.
Schneider from Illinois. Schulten from Michigan. Ooh. Sherrill from New Jersey. Smith from Washington. Sorensen from Illinois. Stanton from Arizona. Old John Tester.
The senator.
From Montana.
Oh, yeah.
Vasquez from New Mexico. VC from Texas. And Welch from Vermont.
Ryan up in upstate New York has a tough race against Allison Esposito, but he's got a ton of money.
The defiant message came even as the intentions of the Biden family and closest advisors seemed to shift moment to moment. According to two people who were granted anonymity, of course, because they are not authorized to speak publicly about private conversations. In other words, some slimeball who's going to speak behind your back. Jared Huffman, California, Garcia, Illinois, VC, Texas, said in a joint message to Biden on Friday that it is now time for you to pass the torch to a new generation of Democrat leaders. It breaks my heart to say it, but Biden is no longer up to the job, they wrote.
Well, what does that mean, though? Up to the job of what? Campaigning or up to the job of being president?
Of standing up. What? Which one?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how you make the case that he can't be the nominee, but he could remain the president.
Right.
What? What are you talking about? Senator Heinrich from New Mexico issued his own statement shortly afterwards that repeated the pass the torch language, adding that I believe it is in the best interest of our country for him to step aside. Later in the day, Lofgren, Landsman, McCollum, and Castor from Florida also called for Biden to end his campaign. Well, who cares if those four... Who knows who these people are? Nobody.
Well, even he doesn't know.
He doesn't know for sure. He doesn't even know who's in the room with him most of the time.
He doesn't know his defense secretary, who he's had by his side for almost 4 years. 4 years!
The guy who runs that outfit over there.
Yeah, the black guy.
The black guy. And John G. Jackson, as he loves to say. Katanji.
Going off on a tangent.
And don't get me started on his who's his, is it the Homeland Security person or is it the other one? The Macarena guy? What's his name?
Macarena.
Javier Macarena?
Mayorkas?
No.
No, not Mayorkas. There was a Macarena guy, yeah. There was a Macarena.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, you don't even know who he is.
No, I don't care. Who cares about who these people are? But they should all should be embarrassed by what they're doing. Attacking democracy here. Attacking democracy, and trying to push out the duly elected candidate of the Democrat Party. Elected by the voters. Overwhelmingly elected by the voters.
Yeah, I think they have something like almost 4,000.
He's got 3,900 of them.
Right, yeah. Delegates, and he's got almost all of them.
And why is that? Well, it's due to what he's done for 3.5 years. Right. Clearly. What else could it be?
He's what do you call it? Kim Jong-un type in popularity.
Yes.
In the Democrat Party. My goodness, these people have no vision.
Exactly, thank you. More Democratic lawmakers are expected to publicly air their own concerns in coming days, according to a senior Hill Democrat granted anonymity, or once again, to discuss private conversations. You see how these people want to discuss private conversations, but they don't want to put their name on anything.
Right.
But a handful of additional defections by longer tenured Democrat senators with years-long relationship with the president would have a much larger impact, this Democrat said. The delicate goal, he added, create enough public pressure to force the president's hand while allowing him some measure of dignity so that it appears he came to the decision on his own. Well, as if any of us are going to believe that.
Because we all know he has no dignity.
He has to say, I know I'm not going to win, they say, who's involved with the discussions. Despite the building pressure, it doesn't matter if at the end of the day you don't have the guy himself coming up to the podium. Meaning Biden has to come up and say it himself. But again, how does he come up and say, I can't be the candidate, I can't win, I can't run, or I'm not up to running, but I'm up to staying president for 7 more months with the nuclear codes by my side? No. So that is their predicament. Biden is isolating while recovering with COVID, therefore speaking to allies and even his closest aides solely by phone. He has at times continued to push the notion that because he's beaten Trump once, he can again. That's the way, Joe.
Yeah.
Stick with that. While at other times he has asked allies whether they think that Vice President Kamala Harris can defeat the Republican nominee. Let me answer that for them. The answer is no. But probably closer than you couldn't. She won't do as good as you'll do, Joe.
Yeah, good recovery.
The White House called a lid on Friday.
Well, they called a lid on Friday yesterday, on Thursday.
Signaling for the second straight day that the president would not be seen in public. Well,
he's sick, Big D.
Biden's COVID symptoms have improved meaningfully, though he's continuing to take Paxlovid. Biden's inner circle has grown angry this week against a seemingly coordinated move by Democratic leaders. That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Coordinated move by the Democrat leaders going after their uncoordinated leader, including longtime friends. Pelosi, she's stabbed him in the back.
She's angry.
Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, now Sherrod Brown. I mean, this is just... At the same time, some close to the president began to have private conversations in which they entertained for the first time that the party's best path might be for Biden to step aside.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They really feel like they're being betrayed, said one senior Democrat lawmaker who has spoken with the Biden team, granted anonymity to discuss internal conversations. Still, there's a lot of discussion in the president's orbit about how to proceed. So that's just one article today from Politico. I mean, you wouldn't have seen an article like this in Politico ever.
I don't understand it. I don't get it.
And then later in the day, I mean, I hate to say this, but by noon they came out with a second one. This one was entitled "Dems to Biden: Time's Up, Get Out."
So they wrote 2 articles. They were busy today.
The spike in new defectors signals that the party has run out of patience and believes the decisive moment is at hand. I mean, this is just appalling to me.
Unbelievable.
How would you feel if you're a Democrat primary voter right now? That you voted for the candidate who's done so much?
That your vote doesn't mean anything, I guess.
Yeah, it would be upsetting.
And this is the way you're being treated.
Yeah.
Like you don't matter. Yep. Like the elites are going to pick who's going to run.
Exactly.
That's unbelievable. I would have never saw that coming from the Democrat
There should
Party.
be a public outcry here.
They're absolutely Slick. Thank you so much. Yeah. You're very right on the money here.
Yeah, I might have to move over with Big D because I'm getting nervous. What kind of shiny object they're going to pull out of their hat here for this? I don't know. We might be better off with. You're better off with. Biden.
I mean, this is an attack on democracy.
Yeah,
attack on democracy. Like we've never seen. And I just won't stand for it.
And I think Slick just came up with their new slogan, "Better with Biden."
That's right. Yeah.
There you go.
Broke back better. Broke back better. Here we come. Biden in 24. No more.
Chip's ready.
skeleton crew over there.
Yeah.
Like they got rid of direct messaging. You can't include your Twitter account in your, follower populator. So.
Your followator?
Your followator.
Joe Biden new T-shirt. Pass the torch. Stay on the porch. I don't know if pass the torch is really the statement you want to be making with Joe Biden, given who he used to hang out with in his early days.
Well, you know what? If they coordinate with the Olympics, they really have something there. Imagine Joe being the final torch bearer running up the Olympic torch. He might never get there.
Robert Byrd may have a different idea of him and Joe hanging past the torch, what it might mean.
He's to hang out with.
All of his early friends in life. I love all these people who are tweeting about, I feel so bad for Joe. He's been such a good guy. It's like,
he's a scumbag.
Talking about
he's a scumbag.
Whole life.
Yeah, I know. I think it was Junior. Was it? It
was Eric last night, or was it Junior the night before?
Eric.
I don't know.
I think they were talking, but they weren't making a speech. They were talking to the media. Because I remember hearing it. I was like, whoa.
No, I thought it was in the speech.
Really? You think it was in the speech?
You're making him a hero, Damon? I'm not making anybody a hero. I'm stating what I'm seeing. I stand against it. I stand against this push.
You found out how much Sphere tickets are, aren't you?
I got a good article, Fran, on the CrowdStrike thing. I want to talk about that in the news.
I stand against this attack.
Spears it. I heat up.
Shadow's Daily Adventures says, Slick, you look like you're enjoying your pizza. What kind were you having? They had pizza tonight, too.
We had bacon pizza.
Yes.
We always have.
Who started that tradition? Big D, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Big D
I
was
ordered
the
it
bacon
first.
man.
Yeah.
We didn't even know that existed.
Is there still pizza?
There is.
Yeah. Go tear it up.
Have it,
I don't know if I can fit it.
Well, what, you're going to put it in a pocket? What do you mean?
I might put it in my pocket.
So you do have a read here.
I have reads here?
Yes, you do.
You want to do two here and one in the next segment?
Enjoy read. Big D enjoys reading. Bruh.
Sounds like the blue.
Oh, sounds like the blue.
Friday night.
What do I have here, friend? Patriot Mobile. Well, I love Patriot Mobile. I had the honor and pleasure Rav had the honor and pleasure of partnering with Patriot Mobile, who's been great supporters of the network. They're the only cell phone service provider that is actually on the front lines defending your freedoms. They're an example of putting the cause ahead of profits, and that's why Rav was proud to partner with them. Right now, Patriot Mobile wants to give you a brand new smartphone. Say what? I said a brand new smartphone. When you make the switch today, Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. And when I say the only one, trust me, I mean it, they're the only one. Patriot Mobile offers dependable nationwide coverage, giving you access to all three major networks, which means you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to without funding the left. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're supporting free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, and more. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy. For a limited time, get a free smartphone when you sign up today. Just call 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT, and say promo code RAV, R-A-V. Again, that's a free smartphone with promo code RAV. Join us. Make the switch today. Call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. Or you can go to patriotmobile.com/RAV. What else I got here? Wellness company? What is it?
Really on the ball.
Well,
All right.
stop what you're doing right now. Listen to this. Your God-given freedoms are up for the taking. Even worse, those doing the taking are the same people who have sworn to defend your freedoms. They think they can violate your right to protect your own family. They think they can force their delusions onto your children. They think they can control the media and hide the truth. But you know what they can't take away? Self-reliance, peace of mind. Got water filtration? Well, you should. A charged solar generator? Well, you better have one of those. Emergency food on your shelf? Well, you better get it now. And you can get it all from My Patriot Supply. Having served millions of American families, My Patriot Supply is the most trusted name in survival. And for a damn good reason, too. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now. Save $200 on their best-selling 3-month emergency food kit. It delivers over 2,000 calories a day. Sealed inside practically unpierceable packaging. It lasts up to 25 years. And did I mention that it's absolutely delicious? Go to MyPatriotSupply.com. Save $200 per kit. Free shipping is included. MyPatriotSupply.com. Go right now. MyPatriotSupply, all one word, .com. All right, let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. LFS6B is the code to use at checkout. You can go to mypillow.com/LFS6B for all the best deals for this audience, and then use promo code LFS6B at checkout. Great savings, sometimes up to 50-60% off. I mean, the prices on the mattresses after you use the promo code, if you're in the market for a mattress, is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get that pricing anywhere, these mattress stores that you can get at MyPillow using our promo code. Just unbelievable. Slick, what's going on?
All right. Well, Churchill Downs lifts suspension of trainer Bob Baffert. AP report, Louisville, Kentucky. Churchill Downs has rescinded its extended suspension of Bob Baffert, allowing the Hall of Fame trainer to resume racing his horses at the historic track and partner facilities after more than 3 years of banishment for a failed drug test of ultimately disqualified 2021 Kentucky Derby winner Medina Spirit. Remember that horse? The stunning announcement came Friday after Baffert issued a statement in which he took responsibility for now deceased colt Medina Spirit's failed drug test after crossing the finish line in the 147th Kentucky Derby in May of 2021. Kentucky racing stewards disqualified Medina Spirit the following winter, and Churchill Downs elevated runner-up Mandaloun to Derby winner. Churchill Downs said in the release that it was satisfied with Baffert taking responsibility while completing the penalty and committing to compliance. All parties agree that it is time to bring this chapter to a close and focus on the future. Baffert is welcome to return to any CDI racetracks, including our flagship Churchill Downs racetrack, and we wish him and his connections good luck in their future competitive endeavors. Churchill Downs Inc. CEO Bill Cargensen said in a statement. So, Baffert, arguably one of the greatest trainers of all time, will be back in the Churchill Downs, and I guess it's good to see him get back. He did the penalty, and he paid for it, and hopefully he'll recant his ways, and they won't have these problems again. Here's an epic fail, though. Adidas apologizes for casting anti-Israel Bella Hadid in Munich 1972 shoe ads. This is Joel B. Pollack of Breitbart. The Adidas shoe company is apologizing for ads in which it used the rabidly anti-Israel model Bella Hadid in a campaign for a shoe referencing the 1972 Munich Olympics, where Palestinian terrorists murdered 11 Israeli athletes. The shocking collage of offensive symbols was aptly summarized by TMZ. Adidas made Bella the face of its marketing and the issues. Bella's a Palestinian-American model who has been a vocal critic of Israel amid the war in Gaza. Hadid, who is half Palestinian and on her father's side, and her sister Gigi have forced criticism of being supporters of the Palestinian relief efforts since Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th, 2023. The German athletic wear company announced Monday the relaunch of the classic SL72 shoe ahead of the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. It also marks the 52nd anniversary of the Munich massacre, when members of the Palestinian terrorist group Black September stormed the Olympic Village and took the Israeli athletes and coaches hostage before they were eventually killed. One of the darkest moments in sports history. The state of Israel responded via its official account, and very upset, obviously. I'm going to just paraphrase what was said. The American Jewish Committee criticized Adidas in a statement that noted that Palestinian terrorists had killed 11 Israeli athletes and 1 German police officer. So anyway, Adidas apologized according to a statement statement quoted by TMZ. We are conscious that connections have been made to tragic historical events, though these are completely unintentional, and we apologize for any upset or distress caused. As a result, we are revising the remainder of the campaign. I mean, do these people do their homework?
How could
With
that
all
be?
The resources how could you miss that?
How
That's
could
an
that be
epic miss.
unintentional?
I agree, David. I think there's more to this than meets the eye. Adidas, man, all day I dream about stupidity. Okay, that's a wrap. Sports Big D. Back to you.
All right, Slick. Very good. Let's go into the chat here. A lot of comments tonight. A lot of emails coming in. We'll go to some chat. How could Adidas be so dumb and blind? Richard Jordan asked Slick.
It's crazy.
I don't think they are. I think it was intentional.
Well, I tell you, come on.
Because when it comes to these marketing campaigns, it goes through a lot of layers. A lot of people got to sign off on this stuff. The fact that nobody
just ask Budweiser,
right?
Same thing with the Budweiser.
There's no Jewish people up top, anywhere in the board or anything.
Nobody's ever. Well, let's check her background, make sure she's clean.
And we're dealing with 1972 Munich Olympics. I mean, you know what that is? Like I said, that's one of the darkest moments in the history of all sports in mankind.
Yeah,
crazy.
It's insane.
All right, very good. Well, we don't have a ton of time for news. What's coming up in the news?
We'll talk about this investment firm that put up a massive short on Truth Social stock just before the Trump shooting last week. Did you hear about this?
I did. What's it called? Something Capital?
Yeah. Austin,
Austin City
Austin
Limits
Private
Capital or
Wealth.
something. Austin Private Wealth.
Yep. They shorted just before the attempted assassination. They shorted 12 million shares in Trump Media and Technology Group Corp stock via a put option.
Pelosi's middle name is not Austin, is it by any chance?
I don't know. I wonder if she was involved. Sparking frenzied conspiracy theories after the unusual trade was highlighted by a number of social media users. So we'll talk about that. And also Nancy Pelosi in the news. Yeah, believe it or not. She's back to being angry.
Oh,
totally fun.
Well, yeah, the short one probably went bad. All right, we'll get to that. Plus news with David Zier, all coming up live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Where's the article from?
Let's see. Oh, there's a bunch of articles on it, actually. This one's from news.com in Australia. There are a bunch of links to different stories. This was the most recent one.
So you have a third read here.
Yeah, I think I read the wrong Patriot Mobile script, but
oh my god.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
Whatever. That was last week's.
Well, the promo's still the same, so.
Yeah. What do I got here?
This will be Wellness Company.
I heat up.
I don't know. I didn't hear about it.
In Britain, the Britain's on fire. Like in the streets, there's riots, cars on fire. What do you see? What kind of fires? The fireworks? Oh no, that's something else. Oh, I know her, man. Probably D.C. she lives in. Yeah.
Well, let me talk to you about the wellness company. You know, everybody knows the next medical crisis is probably just around the corner, whether it comes in the form of a pandemic or something much more mundane like a tick bite. You and your family need to be prepared, and that's, of course, where the wellness company comes in. You know the wellness company. We've had their doctors, Dr. Peter McCullough, on the show. The wellness company and their doctors are medical professionals that you can trust, and their new medical emergency kits are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy. Be ready for anything. This medical emergency kit contains an assortment of life-saving medications, including ivermectin and Z-Pak. Medical emergency kit also provides a guidebook and the aid in the safe use of all these life-saving medications. So from anthrax to tick bites to COVID and even to a bioweapon like the plague, you'll be prepared. The Wellness Company's medical emergency kit is exactly what you need to have on hand if you want to be prepared. Go to www.twc.health/voice, www.twc.health/voice today in order. That's twc.health/voice, and then use promo code VOICE to save an additional 10%. All right, 31 past the hour. Let's do some news. Rick Delgado's got it. What's going on?
All right. Well, the story that I just mentioned here, the investment firm that shorted Truth Social stock just before Trump's shooting, according to this latest article, they say it was filed in error, believe it or not. Of course, the shorts that we're talking about were on DJT stock the day before the Trump assassination attempt. There's some cross with BlackRock and Vanguard being involved with this Austin private wealth company as well. The Securities and Exchange Commission filing by Austin Private Wealth dated July 12th showed that the firm had shorted 12 million shares in Trump Media and Technology Group via put option. As I mentioned, on July the 12th. The short selling is basically betting that the stock is going to fall in a given period. Damon knows a lot about that. He's pretty good with the financial stuff. The SEC filing, which showed that Austin Private Wealth shorted a large number of shares, was incorrect, according to Austin Private Wealth. Their spokesperson said in a statement, no client of APW holds or has ever held a put on DJT in the quantity initially reported. Now, just pay attention to the wording. A put on DJT in the quantity initially reported. It could be a different quantity, I guess. The correct holding amount was 12 contracts or 1,200 shares, not 12 million shares, as filed in error in submitting the required report for the second quarter. A multiplier was applied, blah, blah, blah. The July 12th filing reflected the firm's position on June the 28th, and Austin Private Wealth said it had been amended on July the 16th. They said they deeply regret this error, and it has caused all sorts of concern, especially such a fraught moment in our nation, they said. So you have that, and then following that, on Monday from CBS, Trump Media and Technology Group stock soars 32% on Monday, trading on Wall Street, recalculating the odds of former President Trump succeeding in his re-election campaign following the failed assassination attempt. The company, which owns Truth Social platform, jumped $9.98 to over almost $41 at $40.87 in morning trading. The jump reverses a 6-week slump for Trump Media shares, and the ticker, DJT, is the same as the former president's initials, is viewed as a so-called meme stock because of its wild swings. The failed assassination attempt, though, could bolster Trump's odds in November, and the Economist prediction model now giving Trump a 3 in 4 chance of winning. They said it also bumped up almost $2 billion in its market value, pushing the capitalization to $7.8 billion, and that would have ballooned Trump's stake in the company by $1.2 billion, putting his total at $4.7. So good news for him on the financial front, as long as we're talking about, this story here about the shorted shares that were put into play. Also, following up on things that were going on with the RNC convention, this coming out of MSNBC is Alex Wagner. I don't know if you caught this. She had a strange reaction to J.D. Vance and something that he said during his speech. If you want to check it out for yourself, this is cut number 22. Here's DNC's Alex Wagner just finding time to fit in racism and sexism no matter where she can. Check it out.
Kentucky, where his 6 generations of his family are buried, and his hope is that his wife and he are eventually laid to rest there, and their kids follow them. And I sort of understand the idea of sharing the burial plot, but it also it reveals someone who believes that the history that the family should inherit, and indeed the history that should be determinative in the story of the Vance family, is the history of the Eastern Kentucky Vances, and not the Vances from San Diego, which is where his wife is from and where her Indian parents are from. But in America, it doesn't always have to be the white male lineage that trumps.
God, here we go.
That defines the family history. That branch of the tree supersedes all else. And I just think the construction of this notion reveals a lot about someone who fundamentally believes in the supremacy of whiteness and masculinity. And
oh my God!
I mean, that should be illegal.
That's what passes as television.
She said the fundamentalist
of
white superiority or something.
Yes,
Alex Wagner.
Of course, takes precedence over the San Diego Vance part of the. Well, first off, I don't think the Indian name is Vance. I don't think he married a girl from India whose parents are from India that have the same last name. So that's number one. Number two, she's just being a moron and trying to find. See, this is how they do it. They try and find any angle to squeeze in the racism, the sexism. She squirrels them both in there, by the way.
Yeah, and Maddow is a nut job, too. She said, what was she criticizing?
They're all nuts.
Somebody talking about the spelling of her name, Naria, and it's easy to remember because you move the N from the front, and it's Aryan.
My God. Come on.
That's how the far right can remember her name.
Munich Adidas sneakers. Wow. Hold on. Get out of here.
Yeesh. All right, one last thing here.
You have to be a low IQ moron to even get on the air over there. I mean, hello? Look at the morning show.
Look at their
lineup. No standards.
Look at the morning show. Yeah. Look at the evening shows. Look at all the shows. I mean, it's just part of the deal. It's just, you don't say the dumbest things ever. You can't get on. My God. By the way, I wanted to check the, because I don't trust the polls, but what I do trust is the odds makers in Vegas. Donald Trump is a 1-2 favorite right now. Kamala Harris is in second place, 3-1 to win the presidential election.
That's scary.
Joe Biden is 12-1.
12. I wonder why they're calling for his head.
12-1.
I mean, come on.
Gavin Newsom's 25-1.
Old slick.
So Kamala Harris is in second place at 3-1. Trump's a 1-2 favorite.
3-1. How's that possible?
I trust this more than I trust any poll.
That's crazy. I still can't believe they're going after Joe. Did you see his speech to the NAACP this week, by the way?
No, but I'm sure it was
colorful.
I'm sure it was inspiring to be the candidate.
It was.
Yes.
I got a couple clips if you want to check them out.
I would love to.
They're very short.
Absolutely.
Broadcast them to the world.
Yeah.
Friday night. Why not?
And this just proves what this guy is made of, and supports your stance there, Damon, of thinking he should stay in the race.
Yeah.
And, even if it costs me and Slick a trip to the Sphere, you might be onto something. Here he is talking, cut number 17, talking about his meeting with President Xi at the NAACP. Check this out.
I spent more time with Xi Jinping of China than any other world leader has.
Sure.
I was with him in China on the steps of the mountains. He looked at me and he said, "Can you define America for me?" It's God's truth. I said it's recorded. I said, yes, in one word, America. Possibilities.
Yeah, possibilities.
Wait, is that
the one word?
One
was
word
America?
or 2 words?
What was the one word? Oh, possibilities is the one word.
I think it's amazing. He went from the plains of the Himalayas. Now he's at the steps of the mountains.
You would say porta potties.
Didn't he take a train to the Himalayas?
He's on the steps of the mountains with
That's my guy right
in
there.
China.
That's my guy.
He also had this to say about guns. This is cut number 20. Again, Biden talking at the NAACP, which further strengthens his position as being the top Democrat in the Democrat Party.
Thank you very much.
We're going to speak about violence. We're going to speak about guns. More children in America die of a gunshot wound than any other reason. That's stunning and that is sick.
Yeah. I mean, if
you don't want that kind of energy as your candidate, if you don't want that kind of dedication, I mean, what do you want?
I don't know.
I mean, you want someone who's going to get up there in Chicago and deliver this address.
Yes.
You can't have low energy.
And he brings it. He kept bringing it throughout the entire speech. Here's cut number 19.
Hits keep rolling. Look at this.
Where he's talking about what causes cancer. This is amazing. I never knew this. This is a new fact.
Look, folks, think about this.
Okay.
My state of Delaware. If not many don't know my state. My state of Delaware has a Delaware River runs up along as jagged. But at the top of the state, there's a half moon. And it goes up along more oil refineries on the other side of that half moon, is looking area than anywhere in the country, including Houston. And guess what? The wind blows southeast. We had the highest cancer rate for the longest time.
There you have
Do you know who's affected? Fence line communities.
Yeah.
You know who the fence line communities are? Black communities.
Yeah.
Wait.
Wait
a minute. Wait, can you roll that last 30 seconds? I missed something there. I must have missed something there.
Wow, remember that news story that the blacks in Wilmington, Delaware are getting cancer from fossil fuel winds?
From southeast winds, yes.
Yeah.
You know, guys, this is just next level. You guys, it's hard for us to keep up.
Yeah, it's true.
This is next level stuff.
Yeah, I got one last one where he basically renames the NAACP. Here's cut number 5.
When
not 5.
Is the time to
Sorry. This is cut number 21.
Okay,
Sorry about
Joe.
that.
Go ahead,
Sorry
Joe.
about that, Aaron. I had a.
Just biding his time here.
I had
For
Joe
the
Biden
race
moment.
riots in Springfield, Illinois in 1908, the NAACP was formed. That's what started it.
Yes, the NAAC.
The P came later.
Right.
I mean, we all make slight mistakes, Delgado.
The National Association of Coloreds.
Right. And it's peeps, right? Colored peeps.
Yeah, don't eat the purple ones.
We all make mistakes. It's just one mistake. You know how when you talk as much as he does in public, one mistake you're going to jump all over?
Yeah.
I didn't
get off my lawn, Delgado.
Yeah, don't be so critical of Joe.
I wasn't. I was saying this is, this is
come on.
The top of the ticket here.
You got the right continent.
We hope. Let's go, Joe.
Come on.
Bread and butter Joe. He's bringing it home. With the southeast winds, he's going to stop cancer by putting up a wall so it doesn't blow anymore.
Yeah, and?
Along that river on the top there.
Damon's all in on this, huh? Man.
Just saying.
I don't mind it.
Are you donating today? Come on, you donating to that fund?
It's going to
re-elect Joe Biden.
It's going to be on the steps of the mountain with Xi.
And
I met with the Chinese leader in China.
Yeah, I know.
With that black guy.
Go, Joe.
Aaron, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say cut 5. Well, I was going through the NAACP.
I mean, I've only told him 9 times to set up the
Don't I set up the clips? Yeah, but I was doing all NAACP, and I saw NAACP 5.
It's like, here's a good clip of Joe Biden. You guys are going to like this. Ready? Cut 4. Go.
I don't do it like that. I never do it like that. I set it up. I read it twice.
The director says,
That's not what you say off air, Aaron.
Don't you have to leave early tonight?
Gotcha. Exactly. So one time I effed up.
That's what his first wife said.
First time. Let's go, Joe. Let's go, Joe.
Shut up, Slick.
Did Harry make it back from Wisconsin after the cheese curds?
No.
I don't know. Do we know where Harry is?
He's bathing his cheese curds.
Zier?
What happened?
Did he come home?
Where's
Harry?
Harry is driving home from Wisconsin.
Harry's driving home?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
he drove?
He's with Joe in the truck.
Harry on the highway.
Harry on the highway.
They're
Of course
leaving
he's driving.
tonight or
I drove to
tomorrow.
Minnesota 2 years ago. It took me 24 hours. We drove straight
Makes
through.
sense.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
And he got...
So it's about 20 hours.
We only got
Think
about...
Harry will answer his Skype?
Oh, God,
No.
that'd be beautiful.
We only got about 12 hours of sleep
He
from
won't
Monday to Friday to today.
He don't even answer his
And
phone.
Harry and the crew,
Hey,
because they
thanks for
did
calling.
Charlie Kirk after we broke down at like 10 o'clock, and then Charlie Kirk came on 10 to 12. Those guys literally got like 1 to 3 hours of sleep every night. Harry was up the whole
Hey, should I be trying to go to the Democrat convention, make sure that nothing happens there, protect my guy?
You might want to look into that.
Yes.
Wonder if the Zen Master wants to get me a ticket.
Where is it this year?
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. You want to go there? Good luck.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get like a bulletproof vest
please,
and whatever.
oh, my
I'll have
own.
to get my own. I'll have to get the Hulkster to come with me.
Yeah. And Dana White.
We should go.
But if I could be there to,
We should set up out front.
make sure there's no funny business going on, I probably should.
We really should set up out front. Not a bad idea. They could take us live. They'd love it.
To the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's doing news. Let's start this segment, though, with a little more news and clips from the host of Breaking Point, 8 a.m. Saturday mornings, Mr. David Zier. Mr. Zier, what's going on?
Thank you so much, Damon. It's great to be back with you guys here. We've just home about Harry on the highway. You know, the production crew from RAV, can't say enough about them. These guys, we got like 3 hours of sleep every night for the past 5 days. But the RAV crew, the production crew, just totally dedicated. Some guys got an hour of sleep, 2 hours of sleep.
You guys didn't work just 10 to 4 like Joe?
It was crazy. And these guys worked really hard. So I believe Harry's driving back.
Wow.
Harry is on the highway.
Literally.
From Wisconsin.
Literally.
But these guys, I don't know how they do it, because they had to produce Charlie Kirk, who came on after us when we broke down at 10, 11 o'clock. For another 2 hours, they were on set, leaving the arena at 1 in the morning. It was a lot of dedication. I just wanted to get into a couple of quick things. Fran explained the CrowdStrike thing, and even if it was an accident here, it just reminds us of how vulnerable we are, because these types of things that are going on. There's a great article. Go to the New York Post and look at Stephen Lynch's opinion about this. Global computer collapse is a chilling look of what's to come. How this situation didn't only affect, servers and stuff, but it affected the end user stuff. So there were blue screens when you were walking through the airports today. All the flight information wasn't up. You couldn't tell if you had a gate change. You couldn't tell where your luggage was coming out. There were blue screens everywhere. That's pretty scary stuff. I find it very odd about the timing here. And who says that somebody can't slip bad software in there somewhere? And I'm not saying that this was, but maybe that could happen. Yeah. I don't know, the day of the election, Thanksgiving, who knows? But I wanted to get into a couple of things. There's a lot of hot governor races. Charlie Cook Political Report breaks it down. There are like 7 out of 11 gubernatorial races that look solid Republican, and 2 of them are toss-ups, including New Hampshire and North Carolina. So it's going to look, and the governors might be back to a Republican governor majority, by a number of votes here. A lot of hot Senate races going on across the country right now. And I like when he came out on stage and says, I identify as she and he. He's running against Tester, who's probably going to lose. Mike Rogers gaining ground on Slotkin in Michigan. Casey McCormick kind of close. Casey's still ahead. Some people saying McCormick needs to get his butt in gear, just like Dr. Oz didn't really get his butt in gear, and they got to really focus on that one. And Carrie Lake gaining on Ruben Gallego. She was down 5. Now it's about tie. Sherrod Brown still ahead of Bernie Moreno, but I did a really good interview with Bernie Moreno. He seemed supercharged. When we heard him speak that night, we weren't so impressed about his energy level and retaining listeners and stuff like that. But he was very good. He was very sharp, reinvigorated, I think. And then Nevada, Sam Rosen burns over 30% of his body, was like probably one of the hits of the RNC, running against Jackie Rosen, gaining ground. I interviewed chairman of Nevada, Mike McDonald, on that. Sam Rosen gaining ground on Jackie Rosen, and Tammy Baldwin and Eric Hovde in Wisconsin. Hovde still down by 5-7 points. We'll see if they can bridge that gap. I just wanted to throw to one more video for you guys, which was my interview with Lee Zeldin about how New York's in play for President Trump, and that Zeldin, because of his good gubernatorial race where he only lost by 4 or 5 points, 5.5 points, I think it was, against Kathy Hochul, really built up GOP volunteerism and activity in key counties, because there's like 5 races that are vulnerable in New York, and Congress as well, because he helped take back the majority of Congress by those Republican wins in New York, even though a lot of them are in ultra MAGA. Let's go to cut number 26, Lee Zeldin. RNC Milwaukee 2024. We're honored to have with us Congressman Lee Zeldin from New York. How are you?
I'm doing great. Dave's here from New York.
Great to see you. So much action going on. Looks like the stars have aligned for Trump a little bit, and there's some unity in the party right now, right?
No doubt. I mean, the unity inside of the arena last night. Gosh, when President Trump came out and Lee Greenwood is singing God Bless the USA and paying tribute to President Trump, I don't know if in our lifetime, either of us, any in your audience, will ever experience a convention moment as powerful, as beautiful, as special as that was last night.
Even Chris Wallace had to say it, and it was unbelievable. Right. He said it was an electric moment. I wanted to ask you really quick about New York, right? There's one poll in Jersey. Trump's only behind 1 point now. In New York, he's behind 7 and 8 points in 2 different polls. He was down 23 at this time last year. I feel like your gubernatorial race helped bring back some infrastructure for the Republican Party for New York.
Independent poll after independent poll. We're not talking about internal polls. Independent polls showing that this is a mid to high single digit race. And these polls were before we've watched President Biden with all of these recent stumbles in the last couple of weeks. It was before J.D. Vance is picked as a vice president. The RNC convention takes place. The president is nominated, but also people are going to be impacted by what we just witnessed with an attempted assassination on President Trump's life and the way President Trump showed so much bravery and fight in that moment. So we'll see what the next polls look like. It's not easy. New York State has 3.5 million more Democrats than Republicans. We're 22% Republican, but in 22, we got just under 50% of the vote. Now, the voter registration has only continued to get more in our favor since 2022. Issues like the border crisis weren't a top 3 issue when we were running in 22. Now, for many voters, it is the top issue. Eric Adams' numbers are worse. Kathy Hochul's numbers are worse. Joe Biden's numbers are worse. President Trump has also been campaigning inside of New York. He has an opportunity here. It won't be easy, but it's personal to him, and I'm sure he wants to do as best as he can. Yeah, and with big down ballot impacts, too.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And in closingly, I just wanted to say, 37,000 New Yorkers have been assaulted in the street so far in New York City year to date. So maybe there'll be a little bit of sea change. I was in bed with the Trump team in Harlem with the bodega. These people are fed up.
They are. And there are longtime Democratic voters who have been getting burned by Democratic policies. They care about their breaking point in a state like New York. They care about prosperity, the quality of education for their kids. They want to feel safe on the streets. They want a secure border. They want freedom. Okay. And if this is what you're prioritizing in life, there is only one good choice. The only good choice is sending Donald Trump back to the White House as the 47th president of the United States.
Yeah. New York, New Jersey, New Hampshire, Minnesota, other states in play. I want to thank you so much for joining us today, Lee. I know you're busy.
It's great to be with you, Dave.
I just wanted to add that Lee Zeldin never backed down from Donald Trump in the gubernatorial race, and even in the primary stood by Donald Trump in liberal New York. And also, he was the subject of an assassination attempt up on stage, and his house was shot up. And Brandon Williams upstate seat, Mark Molinaro upstate, Mike Lawler upstate, and D'Esposito on Long Island. All those races are vulnerable this year again to go back blue. But there's going to be a big battle in New York State. Allison Esposito running against Pat Ryan upstate, who's got a ton of money, but she was his deputy lieutenant, running for lieutenant governor along with Zeldin. She's a fighter, former NYPD for like 25 years.
All right, David, thank you very much. Let's do a little more sports before we wrap it up. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, WNBA All-Star Game this weekend. Big D, Caitlin Clark, 380,000 votes. Her and Reese getting together, and they'll be teammates on the WNBA All-Star Game, so it'll be pretty cool. Try to catch that. Right now, quick scores. Yankees over the Rays, 6-1. That's a final. Nationals over the Reds, 8-5. Pirates edge the Phillies, 8-7. Diamondbacks down the Cubs earlier today, 5-2. No score, A's and Athletics. Giants blanking the Rockies, 3-0. Royals blanking the White Sox, 7-0. Both of those in the bottom of the sixth. And, well, that's a wrap in sports. Big D, got to wind down the show in the week for the weekend.
All right, Slick, thanks. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. MyPillow, LFS6B is the code to use if you're going to shop there. We appreciate when you use it. It helps support Mike Lindell, support live from Studio 6B. And have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for a great week. It's been a long week. RNC, big success. Thanks to everybody at RAV. Great job, David Zier out there, and to the whole RAV team. Guys here, thanks everybody on the show. Aaron Fran, great job as always. We, of course, salute all our emergency personnel, everybody who keeps the country moving. Thanks, everybody. Hope you have a great weekend. Get some rest. This wild month continues. Monday night, 8 p.m. We're back live from Studio 6B.